All right then, everyone. Welcome to the Lads podcast with me, James, and the big man himself, Aaron. So
Yep.
yeah, we're going to start off with YouTube news or just general news in general. So I'll tell my story first.
All right.
Quentin Tarantino is working on a Star Trek film, and I'm absolutely hyped. I can't. Well, he's not working on it now, but I think it's going to be his final film. It'll be his 10th film, and it's going to be a really explicit 18 plus Star Trek film. And I'm absolutely hyped because, to be honest, I've watched quite a bit of Star Trek. 209's good, Into Darkness is good, Beyond's a bit meh. The Next Generation, Patrick Stewart's good, everyone else in it, it's just not my cup of tea. I understand why people like it, but it just seems a little bit naff, and the acting seems a bit wooden. Some of the stories are good. Star Trek, the original series, signature burp.
Yep.
Star Trek, the original series, 96 to, not 96, 1966 to 69. That was good for the day, but it's really dating now. And all the films are take them or leave them, I guess. You know, they're a bit
Yeah.
like the old films. But yeah, what do you think about Quentin Tarantino doing an explicit Star Trek film?
I mean, like, that would be amazing if that was his last movie. That would be such a way, to actually go out and all
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it just makes you wonder what they're gonna do with like the modern sort of setup, like the J.J. Abrams style of Star Trek movie. Will they continue with that, or will they just he's Quentin Tarantino on? Oh, but there's another J.J. Abrams. J.J.
I
Abrams.
think it's just going to be. It isn't going to be the one with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and
Gamora. Zoe
yeah, and
Saldana.
Gamora,
That's it.
Zoe Zandela. That's it, or whatever her name is, Zandela. I don't know. And obviously you got that guy from Lord of the Rings in there, and some. Oh yeah, Simon Pegg. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I've
I
forgotten
don't
everything about
think
that
it'll
one.
be any of them. I think it will be like set in a totally different timeline. I think it'll just be a one-off Star Trek film. I don't know what they're doing with those Star Trek films now. I really don't know if they've run out of ideas. If Abrams wants to do something else again, I don't know. Because I know he did the first two new Star Trek films, which were really good, but then he went to doing Star Wars 7, which was not very good in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um. But yeah.
But I think it'll bring it'll just like you said, it'll just be a good send off. And if you think about it, there aren't really many sci-fi films which are like 18 and properly set in space. Obviously, I know Terminator is a sci-fi film, but it's not set in space. You've got like The Thing and the Alien franchise, and that's it really. I can't think of a lot of other films which are like 18 plus and set in space.
I guess with space as well, you can do really whatever you want from like a movie point of view, can't you?
Yeah, yeah, but it's about the budget, and it'll be difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I know Quentin Tarantino. He's more like set in reality. A lot of the stuff
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
done before.
for the most part. Or a lot of his films just take place in one location, or there's in other locations there isn't much screen time in there, or they use really like basic locations, but the story's so amazing it doesn't really matter what locations they use.
Yeah.
Like in Hateful Eight, it was obviously they was riding around on the horse a bit, but then it took place in that cabin for the most part, or whatever you want to call it, that big house. It took place in a house for the most part. Reservoir Dogs mostly took place in the warehouse. I know there was a few other locations. Dusk Till Dawn just took place in like the pub, well, the massive bar. I know that he didn't direct that film, but still, a lot of his films they seem like they just take place in like one place
Yeah.
mainly.
It's
So
good.
maybe this new Star Trek film it'll be like in the ship, and there'll be loads of aliens coming in, and the dialogue just carries the film. Like what happens with a lot of Quentin films.
Yeah. I mean, there was that photo I sent you, isn't there, of him doing the Vulcan sign? That was pretty.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine if he just walked in. Just.
pretty edgy. It'd be good if he was in the film and did that.
Oh no, it would be good if he was right at the end. It's like he's saying goodbye and all that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit weird actually getting into that in here.
Hmm. But obviously, I know all of his films don't just take place in one location, but they're pretty low budget and they're easy to film, is what I'm saying. So I don't think there'll be like loads of space battles or anything mental in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my news story. You got anything good, Aaron?
Yeah, I've got two, uh, short topics, but they are a bit serious and all that. So, I think even you, James, someone who doesn't really pay attention to like, the drama side of YouTube, you've seen all these like, the 50-minute long videos where people sit down and expose
Yeah,
people.
James Charles did it. What's
Deji,
his name? Yeah, Deji KSI. That other tatty. What's her name? The one who did it to James Charles first.
Westbrook,
It seems to,
Westbrook. Yeah.
it seems to be a big trend recently, which is bizarre because most of the time people don't really like watching long videos. Like they do sometimes, but you wouldn't really think that so many people would just view a video where a YouTuber's sitting there for an hour long and talking about stuff. Like the KSI one, admittedly, was very entertaining. I know it was about personal issues, but I mean, KSI exposing all of Deji's points was very good, and it showed everyone that KSI was in the right, really. So, I'm not saying it's good that they're arguing, I'm just saying it was a fairly entertaining video.
I mean, the video that sort of annoyed me. I didn't watch it, by the way, but it's this. Have you heard of Dan Howell? I forgot the name of. I think he ran a Minecraft channel with someone
No,
else.
I haven't heard of him.
Well, basically, he's made a 45-minute long video saying he's gay, even though he's been gay for years.
And they knew he was gay for ages, did they?
It's pretty apparent he's gay. I'm not being homophobic or anything, but some people you obviously know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just got me thinking, and I just thought, it just seems like a really cheap and easy way to get views at the moment, and like a lot of YouTubers seem to be doing this because it's just really simple to get easy views, because it gets your watch time up like a ridiculous amount if your video's 50 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what he's talking about in the video. If he's just, expressing himself and he wants to get it out there, that's fine. But if he's made it really clickbaity, or he's rambling and not really, or he's just trying to be self-righteous, then that's annoying. But if he's just expressing himself, telling some personal stories and saying how he feels, then it's whatever, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like, you didn't watch it, so you don't know. So
Yeah,
I haven't watched it neither.
I
I'm
can't
just
really comment.
speculating.
Like like what he said in the video, but that just sort of got me thinking about all these other type of YouTube sort of videos like that.
Yeah, there's way worse than what he's doing anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's some terrible videos out there which are like an hour long and all that. But shall I go on to the next thing?
If you want, yeah.
Alright, so basically YouTube now, it's a bit ironic that we're talking about this on YouTube, but basically they're rolling out mass censorship again.
How
now
come?
there's one YouTuber who I've sort of seen his video on, he's called Tim Pool.
Never heard of him. Is that one of the Paul's cousins or something?
No, it's like
Logan Paul's cousin.
Paul as in Pool. I think I can't really pronounce it
okay.
very well because I've got like a cold at the moment. But basically they're just going around censoring certain channels. It almost seems like it's a sort of experiment, like who they can just completely deplatform at the moment. Because I don't know if you've heard of that guy. I think it was in December last year. It was Monkey Jones. Have you heard of him?
Monkey Jones.
Basically, ages ago, he made some pretty offensive jokes. I can't remember what they were about, but they were like around 2011, I think they were. And basically, YouTube went after him on any channel he appeared on. So his main channel got deleted, and I think his backup channel got deleted, and then I think his girlfriend's channel got deleted because he went on a video. It was
Well, what did he actually do?
Basically, what it turns out was a few years ago, like 2011, I think he made some offensive jokes. I feel a bit bad now because I can't remember exactly what they were, but I know they were pretty edgy. I think they're about about Elliot Rodgers. Do you remember him?
Who the hell is Elliot Rodgers?
He's a guy who like shot up some. He basically went on a shooting in America.
Oh, that's a shame.
And he made some YouTube videos about him. About himself, sorry, Elliot Rodgers did.
Yeah.
But yeah, just YouTube now. They just seem to be like trying to censor certain random individuals for whatever reason.
hmm
So I just wanted to get your opinion on just them doing that.
I mean, it is a shame that people do something years and years and years ago. Was the joke really offensive? Because if you look at a lot of shit on YouTube, people are joking about horrific events a lot of the time. They're making memes about it. And none of these people seem to get in any trouble, but they're blatantly trying to be offensive. And it's a million times worse. And the thing is, in a private situation, if you want to post a really dark meme or dark video or whatever, that's horrible. but it's not as bad as making it out there for the whole entire world to see. So if all these other people who are making horrible things and the whole entire world's seeing it, and you know their YouTuber getting annoyed over a dude who made a joke years ago, and it was just a joke, it wasn't meant to be offending people. I don't really think why him, his backup channel, and his girlfriend are all getting banned off of YouTube. It's mental.
I know.
Like, if YouTube is so annoyed about it, get rid of his first channel. Getting rid of his second channel is absolutely fucking stupid. Then getting rid of his girlfriend's channel, what the fuck? What's she got to do with him making a joke? So she was powerless to him making him a joke. She can't control whether he tells a fucking joke, and YouTube are getting rid of her as well. It's the biggest fucking joke ever, but they still kept Logan Paul on after he filmed a bloody dead body in the forest, and he was laughing about it with his friends. Oh, it's fine to keep him on. He was making fun of a serious situation happening right in front of him, but oh, this dude tells a joke from years and years and years ago and probably is really apologetic about it, and then they ban him. It's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's probably because Logan Paul's got 16 million subs and maybe this dude's only got 1 million. I don't know. I haven't heard of him, but it's a bit of a joke, really.
Yeah. I've actually looked it up now. Basically, he wasn't taking the mick out of the people who got shot, you know, but he was taking the mick out of why he did it. Because basically Elliot Rodgers said no one liked him, so he did it, and he was like, oh, it's stupid that, you know, oh, if someone doesn't like you, oh, I'm going to go and shoot them up. Yeah,
that's all he said, along those lines?
Yeah, obviously he made like a bit...
Might have been worded differently, yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically... He wasn't having a go at the people who got shot.
I don't even know what to say.
I know, it's just... Because I know YouTube at the moment, they've always been a private company, so they can do whatever they want, really, but when YouTube is this big, they've got to understand that, you know, they've got to sort of fall in line with a lot of... They've got to be inclusive of everyone, but now they're just leaning... Basically, they're just having a go at people on different, like, spectrums of, you know, what they believe in and all that. So, yeah. It's like they are just sort of removing a lot of people's views from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the end of that point. Unless you want to add anything else to the YouTube news bit.
The thing is, did he actually take down the video in the first place, though?
I don't think so.
When he takes them, well, yeah.
I think it was just 3 random strikes out of nowhere.
That's pretty bad. They really should give him a warning, because to be honest, worse than this happens on the internet on a daily basis. Fun fact, this is just what a computer guy at college told me a while back. He was telling me how something like 10% of the internet is accessible. So everything, even the really dark memes and dark videos that we can access, it's only 10% of the internet. 90% of it is like illegal, deep web stuff. Why aren't YouTube or the police or the government, whoever, trying to sort the 90%, which is awful, evil, disgusting shit? I don't understand why they're focusing on things that are perfectly legal and perfectly available to everyone on there, and it was just a joke years ago. What do you think? How insane is that? Like, isn't it something like 1 million videos are uploaded every... Well, not every... Like, could be every minute, I don't know. 1 million videos every hour or something. It'd be impossible for every person in the world to get through every single YouTube video, and 90% of what is available is, well, 90%, 10% of what is available is just 10%, and 90% is like, it's insane. Think how much disgusting stuff's out there, and no one's doing anything about it. 90%, and it's all, no one's doing anything about it. It's ridiculous.
I mean, like, I go on the deep web now and then, but obviously not all of it is illegal stuff. It's just stuff that doesn't happen to be picked up by like the trackers and the feeders that Google use, and other search engines.
Oh.
Because a lot of it is people just trying to talk up against, you know, like their government, and what, you know, if they live in like a dictatorship, they're trying to spread the message that it's bad, you know, stuff like that. It's not all, you know, like...
Oh, there's a lot of disgusting stuff on there, though.
Oh, I mean, all the stuff you can find on the deep web, you can find on the normal web. You just got to look a bit harder.
Oh, serious? I didn't even know. Well, yeah, all I was going off of was what one guy told me. And it's not a good thing to go off of, but still, as he was doing, like, level 4 computing, you know, I thought I could listen to him.
Yeah, I don't want to like make this a massive tangent, but I know with the internet, there's not like a certain section where it's like this part is entirely like the surface level, like what everyone sees, like like porn, and I shouldn't really say it because we're gonna get yeah, but I've already said it now, but like porn, like child stuff, drugs and all that can be found on any part of any internet or any of the internet, I should say.
Oh, so you think what that guy was telling me was a load of bullshit then?
No, no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like the web that we can access on like if you just go on Google and type in anything you want, that's anything on Google is 1%, is like 1 to 10% of the entire internet,
Oh,
effectively. But yeah,
damn.
should we just move on because this is gonna get a bit weird.
Yeah, yeah. Enough about the dark web. I just thought I'd bring it up because I don't know. I really don't know anything about it. I've just from what people had told me, and I just thought it was a bit disgusting that YouTube and all these big companies are just focusing on things that are perfectly legal, with things that are illegal. They're not really bothered about getting sorted out. I know a lot of it's out of their control, but they should still try and make people aware. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. Next story then.
So yeah, this is the main, well, one of the main bits of the podcast and all that. It's the talent slash reality TV show segment.
So yeah,
I don't know
what
if
we're
you
gonna
want.
do. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna talk about talent shows and reality shows, their impact, if they're good or bad, and well, good shit and bad shit about it, and just what you think of them really. So I'm gonna talk about a talent show first. This is just absolute rubbish. This is one of my least favourite shows on TV. The Fart Factor. I mean the X Factor. Sorry. Absolute rubbish.
Yeah,
All it
I
is,
agree.
well, everyone knows what it is. I'll try and think of something good to say about it. Simon Cowell's fun. Well, he used to be funny, but he doesn't seem to have a go at people anymore. That's the only thing I can think good about it. Simon Cowell's the only really good thing about it. Louis Walsh was kind of funny, and Sharon Osbourne was kind of funny, but everything else just sucked about it, really. So yeah, what good stuff do you have to say about it? Then I'm going to tear this show a new one.
I basically all the points I've made are negative, but the only thing I can think about is it can change one person's life, although it does make Simon Cowell very rich in the process.
Yeah.
That's the only real positive I can give to it, and it's a good TV filler for the evening.
Yeah.
That's about it.
If you've got Freeview, I suppose, or I'm not trying to sound like a posh dickhead here. If you've only got Freeview and that's like the only thing you can watch on a night, First off, why aren't you watching fucking Bangers and Cash? That's a sick show. But that not paid promotion, I'm just saying. Anyway, so the X Factor, all it is singers. And to be honest, if a lot of people try hard enough, they can have a decent voice. And what on earth does Louis Walsh know about singing? As much as I said he's funny on there, what the fuck does he know? Like he got Jedward through years ago, and they were absolute dog shit. They were rubbish. Like Jedward are, don't you, Aaron?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're very nice guys, but I haven't met them, but someone I know met them, and they're very nice people according to them. But yeah, it's rubbish music. Like their cover for what's it called? What's that? Pressure mixed with Ice Ice Baby. That was one of the worst things I've heard. You ever heard, Aaron?
Probably when I was like 10, but not now.
Okay. Well, I heard it years ago and it was awful. So yeah, that's a bad thing. And people just singing all the time. If you look at all the greatest bands and the greatest songs ever, it isn't just about people singing. Alright, think of an amazing song. Bohemian Rhapsody, the guitar solo. I'll get copyrighted if I actually sing it, but the guitar solo at the end, that's brilliant. Metallica's really long guitar intros. Deep Purple, all their guitar solos. ZZ Top, fast-paced guitar, whatever, all this shit, it's brilliant. It's not just... The singer is essential, but so are all the backup instruments as well. And the problem is, with a lot of these musicians who get through and they make songs, none of it's really that authentic. It's all computerised. And even if their voice is originally good, it gets amped up to 1,000,000 because they edit their voice anyway. They edit their voice in the songs. And then it's a bit disappointing when you hear them live. So yeah, X Factor, I just feel like there isn't really... For the music industry, you need full bands. and I don't really think, having just singers, just a singer is a small bit of the band of the musical talent. I understand there's obviously amazing solo singers like Elvis, Johnny Ray, Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson, Prince, all these people. They're all brilliant. Elton John, George Michael was in a band, and I'm pretty sure. Well, Aaron, we watched Rocket Man, and Elton John was in a band, wasn't he, at one point? I think.
He was a cover band, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind, doesn't matter. So Elton John, Prince was with the Power Generation. They had backup people, but they were primarily notorious for being solo singers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be done, but obviously, having a talent show to boost you as well. They're not really coming up with anything original. They're just doing loads and loads and loads of covers. And just because you're good at singing covers doesn't mean you'll be good at singing your own music and writing songs or knowing what songs to have for you or coming up with ideas and being a creative. So you've got any bad things to say about X Factor then?
It's a bit of a weird point, but I don't like the It sort of relates to like reality shows as well. The way like they mix in like, oh, I've had such a hard life. I'm doing this for.
Oh yeah, the sympathy card, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I've travelled so far to be here, not only physically but like mentally. I'm like, right, you're not going to do this every time you perform, are you? You're not going to go on stage and like, thank you. It's been a hard day.
Yeah, imagine if a rock star did that. Imagine if bloody Oasis, Liam Gallagher came up and said, or Noel Gallagher said, before we start this show, it took a long time to get here, mentally and physically, even though we've done this a million times, mentally and physically, it's been difficult. Okay, and they go on for about 10 minutes and all these people have paid like £100 to be there.
Yeah.
It'd just be stupid.
Um.
So yeah, the sympathy card, but that links in with a lot of stuff. I feel like even if a situation is really bad, they should sort of tell people afterwards, because first off, it makes it a million times better safe. Like, enough about X Factor. I'll talk about Britain's Got Talent now. Good things about Britain's Got Talent. There's actually a lot of variety on there. Again, Simon Cowell's hilarious. Alicia seems to know what she's on about a lot. I really don't like Amanda though. The only reason she's famous is because she married some guy, then cheated on another guy, then married another guy. So what does she really know about music? I don't mean to have a go at celebrities or anything. Amanda's sound and all, she seems cool and she probably knows a bit, but compared to Simon and Alicia and David Walliams, at least he's been in the... I know Piers Morgan hasn't been there for years, but David Walliams is there. And at least he's been in the creative industry. At least he's been acting loads and he's used to performing in front of people, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I've just got to mention, I've never watched... Well, I've watched X Factor, like, mainly with my nan when I was, like, 8. That was it.
Yeah.
I don't watch it now and all that, but... Yeah, that's why I'm sort of letting you go on, because I don't really know who's on it or anything like that.
That's absolutely fine, yeah, I'll just ramble for a bit. So yeah, these people, they know what they're on about to a degree. I really don't like the golden buzzer though on Britain's Got Talent. It's a bit of a joke really, because like David Walliams, as much as I was praising him a second ago, he just pressed the golden buzzer for some rubbish. Like there was this man and this woman doing this really stupid dance and he pressed the golden buzzer. That could have gone to someone who's worked their arse off for years. So what the golden buzzer means, Aaron, is that if you press the golden buzzer, they go straight to the semi-final.
All right. Okay.
Another thing, what's weird about Britain's Got Talent? I know the people vote, but a dog won 2 of them, which is very weird. I don't really, dogs are my favourite animal. Yeah, dogs are my favourite animals, but it's weird how an owner teaching a dog gets the public to vote for him rather than someone who's been busting their arse for years and years and years. I remember when Susan Bohr came on and she had an amazing voice. I thought she was brilliant. And Diversity, fucking amazing dancing group. Brilliant, all the stuff they were doing. But again, loads of people seem to keep coming back and replicating them. And it just seemed to get a bit, stale, really. Because you've seen this so many times before. But it was still good, some of these dance groups. Still good.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell's a good laugh on there. Britain's Got Talent's way better than the X Factor. I can't recall many bands being on there. I wish there was more bands on there, like more instrument shit. One last point about the X Factor. I know there are bands, like people playing in the background for them, but it isn't like a proper band where they spend all the time together and that's the whole show. So bad stuff about Britain's Got Talent. I can't really think of much bad stuff. That's a pretty solid show. So anyway, that's the last thing about Britain's Got Talent. On to a few reality TV shows. I'm going to talk about Big Brother. The Jungle. Have you watched Big Brother, Aaron? I haven't seen much myself, but
All I want to say is, I've sort of watched the actual first series of it, because I did like psychology at school and all that, and it was actually quite interesting because it did push people, to like. It was really weird. It's like they really tested them mentally, and you could see them breaking down from it, and
yeah,
because it is based on like George Orwell's 1984, isn't it? Like Big Brother.
mhm,
They're always under constant surveillance and all stuff like that. But now it is just total rubbish. It's just terrible.
yeah.
Because have you seen that leaked video that they did? This is sort of a point I was going to make in a bit. But they say it's a reality show, but it shows them doing like different takes when they go into bed.
Stupid.
Because one of them messed up their lines, and I went, all right, take 4, and I went, all right, and I just redid the whole thing.
I mean, you can tell all these personalities are a bit put on though. They just want to further their own careers and become famous.
Yeah.
These people. I know there's Celebrity Big Brother where there's already famous people, but I feel like that's deadpan celebrities. Like Coolio, the guy who sung Gangsta's Paradise, he was eating hot chili peppers on one of the Big Brother, a really hot chili pepper on there, and he was really sweating, and I just thought, what are you doing with your life, bro? This is daft. Pardon me, signature burp. This is just daft, to be honest. Like, why is he eating? Why did he go from making an amazing song in Gangsta's Paradise to eating peppers, sweating on Big Brother? It's a joke. I'm sure there's many more examples, but I can't really think.
It just seems like they're willing to put themselves through like pain and to really like make themselves look an idiot just so people know who they are.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, good stuff about Big Brother. Like you said, the first season. You said it seemed real, didn't you? And that it seemed like.
Yeah, because there was one man who actually he didn't attack anyone, but from what I remember, he tried to break out because it was that bad.
Mhm.
And it was like a good social sort of experiment going on, not like a Joey Salad.
Yeah.
You don't know Joey Salad is, but
No.
You basically just fake social experiments.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's actually a decent one on the first series, but after that, it just seemed to go a bit downhill.
Mhm. I was going to ask, what do you think of Love Island quickly? I've never watched it. It's fairly modern, isn't it? So.
I don't really know what happens on it. The only thing I know is that you sort of get into a relationship for a day with someone, see how it goes, and then you vote at the end of the day if you like them or not.
I saw something like that on Family Guy where they took the mickey out of those shows. Do you remember when Quagmire was trying to...
Yeah, when they go to the island.
Yeah. Back when Family Guy was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Seasons 1 to 6, man, classics. But yeah, when they went to the island and like Brian at the end, he's like, oh, so actually be together then. And then the owner of I think it's the owner of Disney or something, runs in and says, no, gives his backsies! And he tries to give Brian the bill for the mansion. But Brian's then stalking this girl even though he knows it's fake. He didn't originally think it was fake, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, those sort of shows, it sounds like. What do you think of I'm a Celebrity then? Good and bad shit about that, then I'll say what I think.
I don't really know, to be honest. It just seems like celebrities going out there to get their name out there again. Like washed up celebrities or people who you sort of know, or you've heard the name, but you don't really pay attention to that sort of celebrity.
Yeah, well, in a way, it is quite funny to see people freak out, like when they have to touch spiders, and eat things.
Yeah.
Like, did someone have to eat a camel penis and someone had to eat some lion's balls or something? I don't know. Just whatever, innit? But
Yeah.
The thing is, people like Fatima Whitbread, they just get on with it, and David Hay, they get on with it, when they're on there. But other people just seem to squirm, and they're just going to get voted all the more. It's quite bad for them, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you mean with washed-up celebrities. The best example I can think of is when Amir Khan got knocked out by Kano. This is a boxer, by the way, and he just went on there for the laughs before he made his comeback. Well, quote-unquote comeback, because he lost to Terence Crawford recently. But yeah, I can think of him. Anne Hegarty, the Chaser, was on there. That was a weird one, because she was a bit socially awkward, wasn't she? And she farted in that guy's face.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Oh,
I don't watch it.
Harry Redknapp was on there, the manager. He was pretty sick. Well, the retired manager. Uh, yeah, decent show. Sometimes there's witty banter. All the challenges, if you watch it for years and years, I feel it gets repetitive. I don't really like watching it too much anymore, personally. I saw bits and pieces when like Anne Hegarty and Harry Harry Redknapp were on there, but that's about it, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, talent and reality shows, I'd say. Oh yeah, bad thing about I'm a Celebrity, like I say, it gets repetitive, a bit boring. Good shit. It can be funny sometimes, and the challenges are interesting. It's not. It's a bit different to most reality shows. But yeah, the best good things about talent shows, like you said, people can change their lives. Bad things, a lot of shits on there. Good things about reality shows, it shows how people act in reality. But bad things is that it can be really fake and shallow a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, next thing, do you want to introduce it, Aaron?
Yeah. So I think I've got the right thing here. So this is probably going to be the main part of the video, well, the ending part of it. H3H3. Now, I don't know. Have you watched a lot of H3H3, James? Or
Sorry, I was lagging a bit then.
oh,
I've watched like the things he's done with iDubbbz and when they're just edgy and fun and they take the mick out of mainstream YouTubers. That was quite entertaining. I've seen some of his podcasts. I'm not really too fussed. I know he's had people like Post Malone on there, and some YouTubers on there. So he's pretty cool. He just seemed, he seems like a sound guy really. But obviously, from what you've told me, he's made some mistakes, and I've looked into it a little bit, and he's deteriorated into this self-righteous kind of guy, who just thinks he's the best and thinks he's the king because so many people have kissed his arse and sucked up to him.
yeah, that's pretty much what's caused him actually to. Well, he's basically gone from like the internet's not like night or whatever, but the internet's like he's like a good person on the internet you can just go to like in the past, but now he's just like, oh, he's just in this for himself, like that. That sort of vibe you get from him.
Yeah. So, what's good about him first then? Because it is a mixed bag. There's loads of good and loads of bad. So, what did he do specifically to be like the good guy YouTube, and what sort of videos apart from like the mainstream taking the Mickey type of videos?
Well, his content was actually really good because he mixed together comedy, like interviews with people like before the podcast, and he actually did like very good exposing videos. So do you remember that Counter-Strike? I don't know if you remember it. The Counter-Strike, is it CS:GO Wild? The skin gambling site. I don't know if you remember that.
I can't really remember it.
CS:GO Lotto, that was it. Sorry. Basically, he just exposed these two YouTubers who were effectively lying to their fans to get them to go and gamble on a website that they owned.
Okay.
And he exposed it, and he got so much praise for that video, which he fully deserves, by the way, because it was Syndicate and I forgot the other guy's name. But yeah, it's Syndicate and this other guy were running, and he full on exposed it. So he on one hand he was funny, and on the other hand he was actually serious, and you knew where he standed. He was very level-headed, and he could just argue any point pretty much like an average person could. Not basically say, oh, I'm the YouTube god or whatever. That sort of thing.
Yeah, my opinion is fact and all that bullshit.
Yeah. But then I think really the thing that sort of started his not downfall, but like the path that sort of took him back basically to him becoming a bit of a big head and all that was when he started the podcast.
Oh, damn!
I'm
What was so bad about him then?
Well, the first sort of series of the podcast, I think there was about 50 episodes in the first series. I'm not too sure. It might have been 25. I can't remember actually. But you could tell he was really changing his format. So it was going from, these really good edited videos and good like information bringing videos to 3 hours of a podcast. He was favouring them over actual videos, and then the stuff started coming out about politics. Like
when he was sort of having a go at people about an election result.
But the thing that a lot of people think about him, and I sort of agree as well, is when I say H3H3, by the way, I mainly mean Ethan. Like his wife Hela, she doesn't really do much. Like
She seems pretty sound though.
yeah. I mean, she doesn't do much to like offend people.
Yeah, she's
Where,
just sort of there having a good time and just bringing
whereas
some witty banter to the table.
whereas Ethan's sort of like, well, a lot of people believe that he doesn't know where he stands on politics, or doesn't have an actual opinion. So
Maybe he's just like one of these centrist people who's just trying to. Obviously, I know we're all neutral, but both me and Aaron do have views on things and are not biased, but we both, have a set of beliefs, obviously. And some centrist people just try and appeal to everyone. But the thing is, don't bring up politics in the first place, splitting your audience, like I say. So if he's just trying to be a centrist and trying to back up everyone and, all this shit, then it's not really going to. It's just no politics in general, like I say, on his channel. He shouldn't really be bringing it up.
But yeah, because there's a lot of YouTubers like I keep forgetting everyone's names off the top of my head. But a lot of YouTubers, they like sit on the fence. So even if someone is 100% in the wrong, they'll still give them the benefit of the doubt. And he sort of does that, but he does it over multiple videos. So in one video, he'll have a go at the far right, for example, and then in the next video, he'll sort of defend the far right. Not
really
like
weird.
Not like outright defending them, but just like sort of contradicting himself. But
To what he said in the previous video.
yeah, so it's like you don't really know where he stands, and that's why a lot of people think he doesn't know what he's on about. But yeah, I'm trying to read this up. Oh, that was it as well. With his podcast and all that, it does seem like he's trying to push a motive at the start. So it's almost like a news report. So when you see reporters on TV and they keep asking the same questions over and over and over because they just want a certain answer from whoever they're interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like that with certain YouTubers. So he did it with I forgot his name. John Tron. I mentioned him before, I think to you, but I don't think you know who he is.
Nah, no clue, mate.
Alright, well basically, he kept asking him about, I think it was something to do about how John Tron's channel was sort of in the decline because he hadn't uploaded a video for like 2 years and all that, and he was just
That's a bit rude.
Yeah, and he was basically just taking a break from YouTube. But like Ethan kept saying, why is your channel in decline? And he kept saying like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't feel comfortable. And then he kept asking like, well, your channel's in decline. Why? And he just kept rewording the same question over and over again, and it just seems more like a news report rather than a podcast where he sits down and he's just like, oh, let's just have a chat.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying, really, because if you look at other podcasters like the True Geordie and Joe Rogan, well, on True Geordie they don't really get into too many debates or anything. They just let the person talk it out and say what they want to say. But with the Joe Rogan Experience, we'll do one about Joe Rogan, like reviewing his podcast one day and see, because it's the best podcast of all time. I love it. It's so cool how there's so many people on there. But we'll do that another time. But the point with him, see, people sort of have a go at him for like agreeing with his guests too much. But in reality, he's just trying to make people feel comfortable, and he doesn't really want people to like feel uncomfortable or get an awkward vibe. He really just wants to get the best out of them and get them to say what they want to do. But Ethan, having to go at people, not trying to get the best out of his guests, it's sort of going to ruin the vibe and make things a bit awkward, all for the sake of one question.
Yeah.
Seems a bit daft, really.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, that's sort of the only real negatives that a lot of people have against him, but it's how he just can't accept that he's going to sound pretty random, but obviously if people change over time, that's usually for the best.
100%.
But he just doesn't seem to understand that what he's doing is he's basically against what he's always said. And a lot of people accuse him of being out of the loop. So, he's like not in touch with a lot of modern sort of, in touch with like a lot of modern news and all that. Which he has said some stuff that he's taken out of context and has put it in one way. But it turns out because he has no information, he's just completely messed it up, and Yeah, he can't. He won't say sorry to certain things. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but yeah, that's sort of the last thing I've really had about H3H3.
I'm going to bring up one last thing in a sec, but I'll say good shit about bad shit. Then you went into good detail about him because I don't know loads about him.
Yeah,
With the type of videos he makes, it's good how these bad YouTubers or people who he exposes, people like him and iDubbbz, they don't really give him a hole to climb out of. They really just dig a massive hole and they can't get out of it. So, like for those YouTubers, so it's quite cool, really. And they're funny and entertaining at the same time as well. But bad stuff, obviously, his podcast is a bit self-righteous, getting in too much involved with politics. He's contradicted himself quite a lot. Yeah, that's it, really. But, anything else to add? I've got one last thing I want to bring up.
No, I don't have anything else. So do you want to bring that up?
All right, then. I didn't tell you about this, obviously, but we haven't done a top 5 in a long time. Well, it was top 3 originally, top 3 directors, but top 5 films of all time, man.
Oh,
You up for doing it? I know you probably haven't got anything wrote down, but have you got any ideas? Just anything, it doesn't matter, even if it's absolute dog shit.
Alright, I can sort of do it, but it won't be in any order because I can't really.
Fine. I'll do mine in order, though. All right, then. I just thought of this because the podcast hasn't lasted too long, so I might as well do something else.
Yeah.
Number 5 would have to be, for me, I don't know if you've seen this, but The Godfather. Just such a classic film. Good acting. It really is. By today's standards, it's amazing. But it's just a stereotypical gangster film. Sort of. Not like totally stereotypical. Al Pacino's acting's brilliant. Marlon Brando's brilliant. James Caan's brilliant. The story's brilliant. It's very, very slow paced. I feel like a lot of people nowadays really, really wouldn't like it. But it's really heavily focused on story. There isn't a lot of action, but the story's so fucking solid. Not too many spoilers, though, but well, no spoilers at all. It depends how I'm feeling, to be fair. But all I'm saying, I highly recommend watching that. That's my number 5. What's yours, Aaron?
Well, I was just going to say, actually, this is completely out of context for anyone who's listening, but that rant you did the other day on the whole Godfather trilogy, do you remember that? I was just going to say.
I was quite angry at it, wasn't I? I mean,
Yeah.
I'd probably get someone else, like me, Aaron, and this guy we know called Ben. I'll probably get him on there to talk about The Godfather, like into detail, like 1, 2, and 3. The third one, I'll do that in another time. I'm not going to go on a rant about it right now. But yeah, what's your number 5 then? Of order.
Alright, this is just a bit off the top of my head, but I'm just because I've got the DVD just looking straight at me. But I really like No Country for Old Men.
So right, you watched it yesterday then?
Yeah, I've watched it in the past, but I'm going to rewatch it again because I can't remember it too well. But that is a really good film in my opinion.
Yeah, I watched it years ago. Pretty solid, to be fair. Pretty solid.
I just really like the.
Do you want to explain some of the story?
I was just going to say I really like the way you. Because when you go into a movie, you always think, oh, good guy wins, bad guy loses. But this is not mini spoiler. It's not like that. In the.
It's bittersweet, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we can spoil some things. Why the fuck not? So, but the sheriff just dies out of nowhere. I think isn't his death off screen or something?
I can't remember too off the top of my head.
I remember he goes to like this motel and then he just dies, and then the bad guy runs off and gets away with everything.
Oh.
I know it's spoilers, but I don't care. Who's bothered? Alright then, so in at number 4 has to be The Dark Knight. You've seen this, haven't you, Aaron?
I was going to say that's my number 4 as well.
Yeah, man, that film's just so fucking brilliant. Some people say if Heath Ledger hadn't have died, his performance wouldn't be as fondly remembered. But I personally still think it would be, because his performance was just class as the Joker.
Yeah.
It really is just one of the best films ever. Absolutely love it. To be honest, what's really crazy about this hero film is that Batman is probably the weakest part of the film. Like Christian Bale, he's an amazing method actor, don't get me wrong, and he's a pretty solid actor, but as Batman, he's probably one of the weakest Batman, to be fair. And he's like the worst part of the film. How insane is that? Like, you know, Commissioner Gordon's amazing in it. Harvey Dent, the guy who played, you know, Harvey Dent's really
Yeah.
good. The Joker's amazing. They all seem to carry the film. Batman's still there. It's still good that he's there. Michael Caine's really good.
It sort of
Yeah,
seems like the movie would work if Batman wasn't even in it, if that makes any sense.
yeah. Like, Batman only needs to show up a couple of times. Like, his main arc in it is that he has to reveal who he is and that he loves Rachel. So, but you know, it doesn't matter if that his arc's a bit rubbish and all that shit. He's just there for a bit of cheeky action, and he's you know, yeah, he's
Yeah.
just there really. He's still good though. The ending's quite amazing as well, because that really is really, really bittersweet. Because in most hero films, apart from like bloody Chronicle, the good guy totally wins.
Yeah.
But in this, Batman sort of wins, but it's like he ends up getting vilified and completely low by Gotham. Basically, they all hate him.
And he goes into hiding, doesn't he?
Hiding for 8 years, then yeah. But the ending, so him and the Joker are fighting on top of the roof. It's not much of a fight. Batman basically kicks his ass as soon as he beats up the dogs. So he has Joker, and he's like, I think he was like, get the detonator. And then the Joker's like, oh, the bombs are about to go off now, and here we go. And then the bomb doesn't go off. And the Joker, all he was trying to prove to himself is that, because there's two boats, for those of you who haven't seen it, both boats have detonators on, and the other people have a choice to press the button, and then the other bomb will go off, and their bomb won't go off. But instead, neither of them press the button because they don't want to kill everyone. They're like, oh, God, you know, we just got to die, who cares? But it weren't like that, but yeah. They were contemplating it because there was criminals on the other boat, and they were like, oh, God, these guys are criminals, they're going to press the button, blah, 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 blah. They said, no, we're not doing that, we're not doing that. And then the Joker's like, oh, the bomb's about to go off. And then the bomb doesn't go off.
Yeah.
You know. It doesn't go off. The Joker didn't even say it to go off. He wanted to prove that everyone was exactly as evil and as much of a scumbag as he was. But they weren't. There was still a lot of good in them. So, yeah. I love the moral of that story. Do you have anything to add about Dark Knight? Is that your number 4?
I was just going to say, it is a good movie because I think it does portray it quite realistic. That makes... I know I just butchered my English there, but yeah, basically I just think it's a good movie because the Christopher Nolan style Batman is very realistic. It's more like gritty and dark and all that, and yeah,
in a campy and comic.
what was
Comical.
that? Sorry.
It isn't like campy or comical like the old Batmans were.
Oh yeah, because you know is it Batman and Robin with the nipple suit? That is, isn't
Yes, sadly.
Yeah, it's just so much better than that. And Batman Returns is all right, but you know.
I absolutely hated that film. I'll do it when we do another top 5 like films that I loved but everyone else hates. Batman Forever, I absolutely love that film for some reason. Jim Carrey's funny in it, Tommy Lee Jones. I thought the story was solid. I felt Val Kilmer was acting really good in it, to be fair. Yeah, Robin was decent. Obviously, Batman and Robin sucks, but you can sort of take it as a comedy. I really didn't like Batman Returns, though. I thought it was too dark. I know Christopher Walken and Michael Keaton was good in it, but the Penguin was just stupid. Catwoman, I felt, was stupid, and the story just seemed all over the place and daft, and very forgettable as well.
Yeah.
Batman 89's class. But yeah, as I was saying, Dark Knight, brilliant.
Yeah.
In at number 3 is Shawshank Redemption.
I haven't watched that, unfortunately. I need to watch it.
Okay, fair enough. It's just such an amazing film. Morgan Freeman has a masterclass performance. Basically, Mr. Krabs is the prison guard in it. And I don't know the guy's real name. I forgot his real name. But Mr. Krabs is the prison guard. And there's some guy who looks a bit like the guy from The American Office who plays the warden. And Andy Dufresne's just in the whole prison. The film's quite slow paced, but I love how it's just a perfect example of like a film that doesn't need loads of effects. It doesn't need a shit ton of locations. It's mostly in the prison, and it's just brilliant. Really, the characters are great, story's great. The ending's a pretty solid ending. well, pretty amazing ending, and it's just cool how he says at first like I didn't do it, and they're like everyone says they didn't do it, you fucking idiot, isn't it? Well, they don't. Morgan Freeman doesn't exactly say that, and in the end, he actually didn't do it, and he's like, yeah, I wasn't bullshitting you, I seriously didn't do it, and he's like, oh, you've been stuck here for 19 years for something you didn't do. He's like, yeah, and then anyway, he manages to escape. It's funny how he escapes. I think he puts this picture up, and he's been trying to mine through this hole for years and years and years and years. And what's quite funny is how if he had been if he had been in any other cell, he would have mined through and ended up in another cell. But because he was in the cell near to just a massive block of wall and concrete, he could just mine through it somehow. So that's quite good. To be honest, I'm not nitpicking. It's not a bad thing about the film or anything. Just because one little thing doesn't make sense, it's there to enhance the story. And yeah, just a brilliant film. To be honest, quite classic. It was cool. There was this old bloke who'd been in prison for years and years, and he tries to kill someone else, get in prison for more time. And he's like, "This is all I know. I don't want to leave." And then they're like, "You can't do this. You've got to go. Don't kill anyone. Just go out and live your life." And he works in a shop, and he absolutely hates it, and he ends up hanging himself, which is quite a shame. Mr. Krabs ends up getting his Actually, no. Mr. Krabs just gets taken to prison, but the warden shoots himself. And the warden and Mr. Krabs aren't totally bad because they beat up this guy who was raping Andy Dufresne, the main character. And the warden looks after Andy Dufresne a bit, but they just want him to do stuff for him. I forgot the things that they wanted him to do for him, but it was basically just for them to gain out of it. Really, it wasn't for Andy Dufresne's benefit.
All right.
But yeah, what's your number 3 then?
I'd probably say American Psycho. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I've heard about it. It's on Netflix. I've got to watch it, man. What's so special about it? You can spoil it. I'm not bothered. What's so special about it?
It's basically it follows like a narcissistic man played by Christian Bale.
Yeah.
But the ending is so weird. It's just so it's confusing the first time you see it.
Is it a satisfying ending, or is it absolute? Like, does it get on your nerves?
You don't know what happens, even though you've seen the ending. If that makes any sense.
What?
You've got to read what the director says happens after, because it's that confusing.
Is it? Because in The Sopranos, spoiler alert for Sopranos. Are you going to watch it, Aaron, or can I tell you what happens?
Well, there's that many series of The Sopranos. I won't get around to it anytime soon.
Exactly. Yes, that sounds so. At the end of The Sopranos, you really want to see the main character bite the dust. You see a load of people getting ready to shoot him and walking around the diner that he's at. And then his daughter knows that he's going to get shot. She tries to run to the building before he gets shot. And this is one of the final 2 shots of The Sopranos. The main character, Tony Soprano, looks up and he looks shocked. And then that's the end. Goes to black for 10 seconds and that's the end of the show. So 8 years, 1999 to 2007. Just for to be fair, the ending's still being talked about. It's not like Game of Thrones bad or bloody Godfather 3 bad, but because you sort of know what happens, but it's like a shocker the first time you hear about it. He just looks up, but if you look at it, the pieces are all together. Essentially, the audience is seeing what Tony's seen. He looks up, sees a gun, black, just to black, nothing. So yeah, he deserves it. Really, he's a bit of a cock in the show. But he's an amazing character. So
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, American Psycho, I'll try and get around to watching it. I'm surprised it's one of your top 5 best films of all time. This isn't personal favourites, by the way. We can do a personal favourite one another time, but yeah.
I thought this was personal favourites.
No. Yeah. To be fair, my top 2 are they're still in the same place for my personal favourites, but my other personal favourites, the other 3 ones that I've already mentioned, are different from my personal favourites. But number 2... We're the Goodfellas, yeah, we're good. No, Goodfellas, man. They don't actually sing that in the film, but yeah, Goodfellas is just an absolute classic. One of the easiest watches ever. To be honest, the first time I watched it, it wasn't the watch. It was still a good watch, but it wasn't easy. But the more you watch it, the more you love it, the easier it gets to watch. It goes by, for a film that's 2 hours and 22 minutes, it goes by like nothing. You keep wanting more. Like when I'm rewatching, I'm like, oh, he's going to prison already. That means it's like halfway over, or I want to watch more. I want more to happen. I want more of these shenanigans. Why isn't Joe Pesci in the film? Well, Joe Pesci's going to get shot soon. Oh, for fuck's sake. You just want more to be happening, And it's just such an amazing film. And the good thing about it is the effort that went into it is based on a true story, true events. But usually, things taken from real life are usually the best stories, or things inspired by real life, you know, people you meet and situations, but over exaggerating them. I don't mean writing yourself into a film or a story and making yourself like the hero and the good guy and the big man and making yourself out to be the best thing in the history of the universe. But I mean, like, you know, real life things, and it's just class, really. Just a brilliant film. The acting's class, characters class, dialogue's class. There's nothing really wrong with the film. I can't really think of anything too bad. Just because obviously, if you're thinking anything bad about any of these films, it's pretty much nitpicking. So, just classic, Aaron. Yeah, just classic. Absolutely fucking love it. It's cool how they had gangsters on set as well, real life gangsters, to give them advice how to do their mannerisms. But yeah, you were saying then, what's your second? What's your number two?
I don't think you'll like what I'm going to say, but I really like, because of the way it's shot, the Grand Budapest Hotel. I really like that.
What the fuck is that?
It's basically like, I don't know how to describe it to you, but the way it's shot and all that, it's just shot in like a really unique way.
Is it on Netflix or anything?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and I really like the director.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. Who is he?
Have you heard of Wes Anderson?
No.
Right,
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
No,
your second best film of all time.
I really like the way it's shot, and the story is really.
It just sounds pistol mental.
No, it's a weird movie, but it just looks.
2014 it came out.
Yeah,
the ratings are pretty good. Let's see who's in it.
Ralph Fiennes.
Bill Murray's in it.
It's got the guy from
Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, Adrian Brody. Good shit.
Yeah, I really like the way it's shot, because it's really vibrant, like the way it looks. I sound really random at the moment, and it's set in like a really weird time period, and like, it's just.
It looks pistol mental. There's a bloody pink hotel and mentalist sitting in the lift. I'm looking on images. What the hell? I'll give it a watch though.
No, I find it really good.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch.
Goodfellas, so you can't have got me for this.
What's wrong with Goodfellas? It's a classic.
No, I was just having a laugh.
I do not like Goodfellas. Gangster mayonnaise. I don't like it. Oh, right then. Bloody hell. No, I'm messing. But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Try and guess my number one now. You can probably guess it.
Oh no.
What do you mean? Oh no.
There's either, I don't know. My mind keeps going blank, but it's either Pulp Fiction. No, it won't be that.
Or
Reservoir Dogs. Or
it's Pulp Fiction, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
Why wouldn't it be Pulp Fiction? I fucking love that film. Yeah, it's just brilliant. Every scene's brilliant. I like the style of the film, because most of the films that are amazing, it's all in like a linear story, but this is episodic, and it takes place all over the fucking place, you know. There's loads of different things in there. Reservoir Dogs wouldn't be my number one. You're mad. It's one of my personal favourites, but it's not like my number one GOAT film. Pulp Fiction is just my personal favourite, though. It's the easiest watch ever. Doesn't require loads of crazy effects. Dialogue is probably the best dialogue ever. Story's amazing. The ending's so cool. I just love it. Everything about it's amazing. So many good actors. Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson, Uma Thurman, John Travolta, loads of different people. Christopher Walken made an appearance. Classic, you know, the guy who played Marcellus Wallace. Those rapists were hilarious. Steve Buscemi was actually in a tiny bit. He was the waiter. I know he didn't put in a good performance because obviously he only had like 2 lines of dialogue, but who gives a shit? It was classic. One of the the GOAT film, best film ever, and also my personal favourite. Absolutely fucking love it. Brilliant. Nothing else I can say. It's just one of the best films ever. You need to watch it. 2 hours and 42 minutes. It goes by click of fingers. It goes by so quickly. It's just by far the best film ever. Absolutely love it. Brilliant. Alright then, so I went on a bit of a tangent there. What's your number one, Aaron? G-O-A-T.
I don't know.
Just pick one, it doesn't matter.
I'm trying to look through what I've watched recently, and I don't have one. I haven't found the number one yet.
Just think, I don't know, anything. If I'm to guess, I bet you're going to say Endgame just for the witty banter. Or,
I was, just for a laugh.
Ha!
But I forgot it's not top. I thought it was personal favourite, not
Not G-O-A-T. Oh,
Endgame's
whatever.
a good movie, but it's not. it's weird because it's in a category of its own. It's not like the way it's written. You can't compare it to anything else. If that makes.
Well, we already reviewed it ages ago. Well, like a month back or 2 months back, and it's like it's very good, but you know,
It's sort of in a category of its own because
yeah,
you can't compare
it's a
it.
solid 4.5 stars out of 5, but it's nothing exceptional because you sort of know what's going to happen.
Yeah, one or two
We've already
things.
talked about it.
Yeah.
There's one or two shit things in there, and it's pretty mixed. I don't know why some people outright really dislike it. I don't see them because it's like the pinnacle of Marvel, but Infinity War and that are the pinnacle. They're just cool, just fun, really fun, amazing. What can I say? Nearly 3 hours, crazy. It went by fairly fast. But what's your number one then?
Yeah, I want to leave it empty for the time being because I genuinely don't have one at the moment.
Oh, never
I
mind
have
then.
one movie. All right, I have one, but
Go on.
I don't want to tell you because you're just gonna laugh at me about it.
No, quick, come on. It
Right,
doesn't
I
matter.
really like the movie Submarine. It's not about submarines.
Oh God, this really is just a personal favourite one. What the? No one. I haven't even heard of this.
All right, it's
I'm
really
gonna
good.
look up submarines. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say my personal favourites then, there was a miscommunication. I got it wrong. Phone Booth. Just go and watch that film. Absolutely brilliant. That's one of my personal
We've got
favourites.
Colin
Colin Farrell,
Farrell.
Forrest Whitaker, brilliant. It always takes place in a phone booth. The end, I was nearly crying at the film when he had that breakdown. It was fucking bravo. One of the best things I've ever seen. But it's just a personal favourite of mine. I absolutely love it. Reservoir Dogs, amazing, brilliant. That's just one of my personal favourites. I know it should still be in the top 100 GOAT films or top 200 or whatever, but just love it. Low budget classic. What was my other one? Casino's brilliant. Absolutely love that. Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro. Joe Pesci's in a load of the film. And he's basically just playing the same character as he plays in Goodfellas. But yeah, he's still amazing in the film, and that's sort of adapted from a true story. It's not as true as Goodfellas, and my top two personal favourites are Goodfellas and Pulp Fiction still. So yeah, that's it really. I'm gonna look up submarines quickly.
No,
Aaron, this list is bizarre.
Submarine. It's not. It's just one.
Submarine.
Yeah. Basically, there's a lot of people because it came out in 2010, and a lot of people basically said, if you no, I was gonna say something, but basically people say if you're like edgy and you know I'm too cool.
Oh shit! I watched this.
Yeah.
Aaron, it's shit.
No, I really like that.
Aaron, it's dog shit.
No, I quite like it. It's all
Yeah, I
right.
watched this. Oh god, it's rubbish. It's just about this awkward guy who keeps trying to get with this girl, then he fucks her and she leaves him and he gets depressed. That's all.
It's like the reverse of someone.
Yeah, I know she's a really edgy bitch in it and like,
I was gonna say it is the exact reverse of someone that.
Oh god. What
No,
is the point? What the fuck is the point?
I need to
Honestly,
redeem myself.
Aaron, it's shit.
I need to
No, okay, I'll give it 3.5. But you saying it's the best film ever? Come on, lad.
I mean, from
Bloody
a
hell.
from a personal thing, I really like that one. But
Fair enough, mate.
It's not the best of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just. I'm sorry. I've seen it, so it's just fucking stupid. It's like it's not as mental as Scott Pilgrim, but it's like Scott Pilgrim. You either love it or you hate it, you know.
Yeah.
I would not give this film a second watch. Okay, I would never watch this film again because it isn't even worth one watch. Really, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But if it's not a bad film, if you just randomly want to watch it. Have you watched Gavin and Stacey? I don't think you have you?
No, I don't really know what it is.
Oh shit! You need to watch that, man. They're bringing out a new Christmas special. I think that might suck because it doesn't matter anyway. I was going to bring that up in case you watched it, but Submarine, that's your number one.
No,
For God's sake.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, doesn't matter. Fair play.
I mean, like some people we could get on. They'd have It'd just be Marvel movies, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, when we get this guy, like I said about this guy called Ben, we know, when we get him on, hopefully, his isn't just Marvel films, and he actually brings some. To be fair, at least your list isn't just a specific genre. At least there's good variety in there, and it's just what you personally like. So fair play, mate. You know, and a lot of those films, apart from Submarine, look pretty amazing and are pretty amazing. So you know, good shit.
Yeah.
I know I've watched No Country for Old Men, really good. Dark Knight, one of the best films ever. And I haven't seen the other. Well, I've seen Submarine, and that's just absolute crap.
Yeah.
Well, saying it's like I don't understand, but fair enough, your choice. And what were the other two you said? American Psycho, I need to watch that. That looks good. And that Hotel Budapest.
Grand Budapest as well.
Yeah, fair play. Anyway, I think that's a good place to wrap everything up. To be fair.
Alright, that segment was like half an hour long where we were just rambling about movies.
Rambling about nonsense, yeah, but you know, it's decent shit at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, everyone. That was fucking hilarious.
Alright, thanks for watching.
See ya.
Bye.